Okay, so later this evening I am over in Saffron, Walden, a place called the Abbey House. I believe it's a 17th century mansion. So yeah, it should be good, but it's something completely different, something outside of my depth. So it's a Sangheet, which is it's like a pre-party to a bride, an Indian bride getting married. So they normally do it like the week before or a month before, etc. So it should be good. The lady's name is Forida, and her brother's been organising it. So he's helped me out a lot. I've taken so much time to prepare for this, obviously, because the music's very much Bollywood, Bhangra, and obviously my job is to go and create a really good playlist. But I did need help, so I had some friends who kindly met up with me and went for a playlist. So yeah, I'm all ready to go. I've been booked. So 8:45 is when the ceremony starts. They're going to have fireworks. They've got a big meal happening. It's going to go on until 1 o'clock in the morning. So it's going to be crazy. They've got about 90 guests coming. So yeah, it should be something very different. And it should be something for me to learn and embrace, and yeah, I can't wait. So yeah, it should be a really good one. So I'm going to be leaving in a bit. Just going to load up my van, get everything together, and then head over and hopefully get some good footage of some of the dances, because I know they've got some good family dances planned from some of the nieces and sisters. So I'm going to capture as much of that as possible, and then I'm going to look back at this gig tomorrow and see how it goes. 30 minutes later and I'm packing down. Got a bit of an after party going on in another room with a very, very small setup. Here we go. That's it. Throw this in the van and then start the after party. So, day after the night before, last night, absolutely bonkers, you know, just best way to describe for me was just being able to adapt and embrace. You know, obviously it was an Indian Sangheet, and which is obviously a completely different culture to where I normally DJ for. So obviously the research was going to have make a big difference to the actual night. But the massive thing really was just having to adapt to the changes of the plans. So get a message about 5:30 saying, can you get here for 6? And so we can start early. Now bearing in mind I was booked to start at 8:45, so it was like all systems go, get in the car or the van and go straight away, get it set up. So anyway, you know, it was nearly an hour's drive, so I had to slightly adjust their plans to arrive to find out that the ceremony was going to be starting at 8:30 for the lady Forida to enter the room for Sangheet, but then music off at 9 o'clock, so it was literally half an hour performance, which was absolutely crazy, as you see in some of the clips. And then the most bizarre thing was obviously 9 o'clock and music off, everyone has to go. The owners of this venue, which was a 17th century mansion, actually once visited by the Queen, decided that, you know, it had to be a low-key event. So anyway, they decided they were going to do like an after party for it's around about 12-13 people. But it was going to be in a different room, and the other room was really small. I think it was a drawing room, and they told me to go in there with one speaker, a mixer and a laptop. So it was very, very basic. That ended up being about 10 o'clock, and then literally 2 hours I was DJing to I suppose just the immediate family, and they were bonkers. You know, there wasn't one bit of alcohol touched. They danced the whole night. They were smiling, screaming, cheering. It was insane. So the music obviously was very Bollywood, it was very Bhangra. We had some hip hop in there as well, quite a few remixes. So it was a really, really good night. But as I say, just bizarre with the changes of the plans, and you know, having to adapt and going into that drawing room, and yeah, just, you know, not the normal sort of night. So tonight we've got a wedding over in a big barn, which is only about a 10-minute drive from my house, which is nice, and that should be a really good one. Nice young crowd, love history, which is obviously what I love. So yeah, it's gonna be a good night. So fingers crossed, we'll be good to go, and yeah, here's to a good night.